What is going on, everybody? Your boys are back for another exciting episode of the Piledriver. We are wrapping up our March
Woo!
wrestling tour, whatever the hell you
Boy,
want to call it. It has been phenomenal. We ended the
like,
weekend with a bash with AIW 216 on Friday, and then last night we went to Mega Championship Wrestling Manifestation, and both did not disappoint, let me tell you.
first off, let me just start this off by saying, and this was confirmed by my friend Michelle and Jose. They take pictures. I introduced to him, Michelle. Both of them confirmed exactly what I had originally thought. X-Pac was the nicest fucking guy, dude.
Dude,
He was so
unbelievable.
cool, so nice. Took multiple pictures with us. And I've said this,
Even
to a
like
couple
he
of my
said, he
friends.
asked you to watch. Like, can I see the photos? Are you guys happy with them? We can retake them if you want
Yeah,
to. Like, what?
yeah.
Who would do that?
But
Nobody.
like I was
Maybe I'm
saying, and
wrong, but still.
I've told this to a couple people. I mean, I won't mention any names. They said a couple of other wrestlers they've met in the past have not been very kind. They were just like, "See you move, you next,
Yeah.
next," which I get. That's their prerogative. That's fine. But for him to be like, "Hey, let me see the pictures," and do you, like you said, do you like them? It was a real cool moment. Like I was saying, there's not many times being in this, doing what we do, we've met a lot of bigger name wrestlers.
Yeah. Like we met the Godfather.
When I met the Godfather, I had no problem talking to the Godfather. I had no problem telling him about Smoke Train, the Hope
Yeah.
Train, how you like none of this.
Didn't he say his
We
wife
talked
came
about
up with that
his
name for the
wife
Godfather?
his wife was making his outfits at the time. Like we had no problem chopping it up with the Godfather. I met Sean Waltman and I fucking froze like a ghost, dog.
It was kind of embarrassing. It was
And then
kind
I'm
of,
like, I was talking about it today, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden I was like, this is Dean.
and I'm like, "Hi, sir. It's such an honor to meet you." And I'm like, "Oh my God." I walked away like, "You are an
Yeah,
idiot."
exactly, dude.
Embarrassing yourself.
I don't really
Because he
have those
kind of just looked
moments.
at us like, "You guys gonna
Huh?
like ask me a question, talk about anything?" And we're
Yeah,
just
and
like,
I had
"No,
nothing.
we're just happy
I
to be
had
here."
nothing. Yep, I was just happy to be there.
Like, "Thank you, sir." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
X-Pac,
he did
Sean
a
Waltman,
too sweet. He
one,
did a
two, three
too sweet
kid,
pose with us. He did a suck
suck
it
it,
pose with us.
awesome.
He signed my picture. X Pac, 2-time Hall of Fame, suck it. It was really cool, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to the whole AIW staff for putting on a fucking amazing show. Every time we go to AIW, it does not
Oh,
disappoint.
that was the first show at Temple Live, and that's kicking off a new era. That's where they're going to
It
hopefully
was
be
good.
calling home in Cleveland when they have their Cleveland shows. Since the last one got bought out by a new company and things and whatever happened. But anyways, that's the AIW
At Temple
Asylum
Live.
at Temple Live. That's what we're going with. And man, it was what a way to bring it in. That's all I have
Bro.
to say. We're
I
gonna go
saw
through
so
some of our
many
memorable. We're gonna go through
go
some of
ahead.
our memorable moments from that match. I mean, from that night. If you want a more in-depth breakdown for it, go follow our friends at Wrestling Cheers. They cover all the AIW events
Yeah, my
in
buddy
depth.
Justin's got the lock on AIW in
Yes.
depth. Follow him, get
So
all
go
that
follow
stuff from
Justin
him.
Summers and the Wrestling Cheers crew. They do an amazing job. Shout out to them. But yeah, it was a memorable night. Let's get into it. What was some of your favorite spots, man?
So as I'm looking, I got their Facebook up here, and they said it felt great to be home, and they posted a picture, and clearly it's from the upper top balcony
You could
where
see
we
us.
were not, but you can definitely see us. So that was really cool. Now that that I saw it, but my favorite moment of the night probably had to be the 6-pack scramble challenge with Derek and Joey Janela. And that match was phenomenal. The whole match was good. I was so happy to see my boys members only. They picked up a win early in the pre-show to get a shot at the titles later on in the night. Unfortunately, they did not, come away with it. But they had already wrestled. Okay, I'm still very big for my boys members only. They are fucking phenomenal. Malcolm and Calvin
Them and
are
the Bitcoin
so
boys put on.
good, dude.
Them and the
But the
Bitcoin
Bitcoin
boys,
boys,
man.
them Bitcoin boys, they're really good too. And it just so happened it was hard because we ended up being right next to one of the Bitcoin boys, like family. So
Yeah,
like I
they're
felt bad cheering against him because this is mom and stuff. Like
yeah. It It was cool though.
Another one of my favorite moments though was when Matt Cardona interrupted a match and then ran right next to us to get away. Like he ran through the crowd and he ran right next to us, and I was like, "Oh shit, there's Matt Cardona!" Like
the indie god.
Phenomenal show all around. Really excited to see Steph DeLander, really good wrestler.
The baddest bitch in the indies.
I don't know about that now.
That's what she's calling. That's what she's calling
herself. Don't be sleeping on my girl Joz Navarro though. Don't be sleeping on her.
Obviously, Jocelyn Navarro snuck out the W there.
I mean,
but she didn't sneak it out. She earned that shit.
No, she earned that shit. It was a great match between them two.
Shout out Jocelyn.
Just all around great matches all night. You know, you had Pretty Boy Smooth going against Shaw Mason. You had a 6-pack challenge for the Intense title. You had a 4-way, fatal 4-way for the Absolute title, which was, I don't know, man. I'm
Talk
still
about
torn.
nuclear heat to end the night, bro.
I am torn. But I mean, the indie god, Josh Bishop, Thrash Justice, and Big Broner, like what? Just them 4 names alone were choice. It's AIW. Go back, watch it, check out their Facebook,
they're on Fight TV. Go back
Fight
and rewatch
TV,
the show.
all of their stuff, rewatch their stuff. Definitely. It's definitely worth the watch. I mean, the next event, they got another one coming up real soon in the month of April. Like Dean just said, damn. All right. And so far, obviously, by the namesake, you got the man Ron Simmons in the building.
Okay. The myth, the legend.
For me, that's a selling point in itself to go meet Ron Simmons.
Absolutely.
All right. Just announced, yesterday, former New Japan Pro Wrestling WWE star Fred Rosser, formerly known as Darren Young, is going to be in the building as well. He's still wrestling, so I assume he's not going to be. I mean, he'll probably be signing autographs and whatnot, but I would assume he's going to wrestle.
He's still going to go.
He can go. I mean, he can never not go, in my opinion. I'm a big primetime players guy back in the day. I loved PTP. But yeah, so that's the next event. That's on, like I said, April 22nd. Get over to Absolute Intense Wrestling, all their socials. Like we said, for more in-depth coverage, go over to Wrestling Cheers, check them out. Same places you check us out. It's great shows being put on in Cleveland. We keep saying this to everybody. Northeast Ohio is prime indie wrestling territory, bud.
And it's only getting better. It's getting crazy, man. We got Neo Pro Wrestling coming up next month.
Woo!
They're starting off. RCW just kicked things off this past week on Wednesday. Shout out to Ricky Shane Page and the crew for bringing that back. I hope it sticks around. It was a good show. I'm ready for it, man. There's so much wrestling coming up. And we just talked. We're going to be showing up later today and later in this episode. We got OCW manager Glenn Lane coming on. We're going to talk Never Back Down. That's coming up. And what's heating up for tradition. Last night we went to Mega Championship Wrestling. Shout out to Brandon Xavier, who was on here. Who is the man. And dude, he went through so much adversity going into the show with just having to change the card so many times and other issues that happened right before it. Man, he still pulled off a memorable, historic show for Mega, in my opinion, and it did not disappoint.
First off, I will give you your shouts out to Brandon Xavier, but I'm going to throw, even in my opinion, a more important shout out. Shout out to Troop 50591 for providing Girl Scout cookies, dog.
Listen,
watching wrestling and eating Girl Scout cookies front row was fucking choice.
Who would have thought that was a perfect combination? It doesn't get any better than that. I smashed a whole box of Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah. It was, dude.
While sitting in front row watching a phenomenal wrestling show.
It does not get any better than that. Like, bro. They had pizza and dogs and all the normal stuff they had, but they had Girl Scout cookies, man. So I really hope them girls sold a crap ton of Girl Scout cookies. I really hope it helped fund their trip to Disney World, because come on, it was choice, dude. Sitting there with boxes of cookies, it was really, really good.
I bought 4 boxes.
I bought 3, so I'm not.
I bought you one of them.
Yeah, I was saying, I got 4 boxes. I only bought 3, but yeah, you got me one. But I just couldn't say no.
That's
So yeah, shout out to Brandon Xavier because he definitely pulled together some amazing show last night, and we'll go over it a little bit. We'll talk about some of our favorite moments from that. We'll talk about some of the crazy fucking moments from that because we definitely had some wild happenings last night. So the night started off very promising. Okay, you had Christian Napier going against 440's Eric Ryan in what was a great match, man.
See,
I mean,
you weren't sure if Eric Ryan could just wrestle. It's your first time actually seeing him in a wrestling match.
Yes,
No death
I've
match.
seen him in death matches, exactly. And
Eric
it was a
can
great
go.
match.
I told you, Eric
can go. It was a great match. Great wrestling match. Great way to start a show. High intensity, good match. Christian pulls out the win. Perfect.
Christian's
Next,
on fire right now.
Christian's on fire. Okay. Next match, we go into Cash Inc. Skylar and Gavin defending their tag team championships against Philly Marino Experience. We had just seen Philly Marino at AIW on Friday night. They come in on Saturday night and put on a great match. Again, 2 nights in a row, we saw them put on fucking just stellar matches. Like, these boys are going. And what's even better to the point, I guess, crazier, after putting on a killer show at AIW on Friday night, they come into Mega on Saturday night and become 3-time Mega Tag Team Champions. They defeat Gavin and Skylar and take the belts away from Cash Inc. But I don't want to, put any shade on him. Cash Inc. was highly in control before Ashton came out and made his presence felt, which threw Cash Inc. off their game, allowed Philly to pull home the dub.
Philly Marino Experience are your tag team champions once again.
For the 3rd time.
Shout out to them, boys.
On the next match, we had Ivelisse, Lucha Underground, Impact. She's been all over the place. World traveled Ivelisse. Coming in against Harleen Lopez. We've only seen Harleen wrestle one time, Dean. We saw her come in on a tag team match months and months and months ago. Yeah, there you go. Herbal Essences was her name. And
formerly of.
I was thoroughly impressed by her last night.
Harleen
she did a fantastic job, bro.
She didn't come out with a W, but
unfortunately, in my opinion, she should have got the dub.
Oh, absolutely. There was a few times she almost got it. She pulled it off almost. Harleen killed it. So did Ivelisse, but shout out to Harleen. Promoters, if you're listening to this, if you have the opportunity to sign Harleen Lopez, do it.
I'm hoping she comes back to Mega in the near future.
I do too. She got a warm reception after that, and you could tell it meant a lot to her because she worked her ass off. She showed out, and I hope.
I agree.
I hope people
noticed.
Oh yeah, well deserved. So shout out to Harleen Lopez. You killed it. Keep doing your thing. And Ivelisse, she speaks for herself. That girl can go.
Now, the next match I want to talk about, Dean, and we're going to talk about this one. This one's probably, I guess you could say, I'll give this one my match of the night, if we're being honest. We had a 4-way dance, okay? AEW's own Josh Woods, who was way bigger in life than I thought he was. Big Mo, who is the biggest. Ashton Day, and the good pastor, CeeLo. Going into this match, it was originally not CeeLo. It was originally supposed to be Defarge in that spot. Something happened with a booking, double, whatever. I don't know what happened. Defarge had to pull out. Pastor CeeLo said, I'll jump in and take this opportunity.
No, Big Mo filled in for Defarge.
That's right.
I forget who CeeLo jumped in for.
Anyways, he jumped in for somebody.
This goes back to what we were talking about. Shout out to Brandon. Things changed. The card is always subject to change, and that stayed true. But Brandon pulled the
Cisco Silver. That's who he jumped in for. Cisco Silver.
Brandon
So
pulled it
okay,
out.
so Big Mo came in for Defarge. Pastor CeeLo comes in for Cisco Silver. Now again, Ashton, former heavyweight champion. Big Mo, former Infinity champion. Josh Woods, big guy. Pastor CeeLo was clearly at the disadvantage last night. He set off a speech before the show, and it kind of lit a fire under my ass a little bit because he came out and said, I got to prove that I can go with you, that I can go with you, and that I can go with you. And he fucking went. Holy shit, did Pastor CeeLo go hard last night.
And
I'm not discounting anybody else in the match. And Ashton put on a great show. Again, we all know I'm a super giant Ashton fan. The man is awesome. Great fucking little backflip Phoenix splash off the second rope from him last night. It was fucking choice.
Dude, it was clean. It was on point. It was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I got a great video of it. I got to make TikToks still. There'll be TikToks up from both nights. I got TikToks for both nights. One for AI Dub, one for Mega. They will be coming. You know, give me a day or so. I've been busy.
I got to send you some clips too.
Yeah, you got some pictures. But there was at one point where Pastor CeeLo jumped. Ashton was on the top rope. Pastor CeeLo jumped up, gave him a little Superman punch, and then went up and looked like it was going for a superplex. Josh Woods then comes flying out of nowhere, jumps on the second rope, goes for a German. I'm like, oh, shit. Here slides Big Mo in for the triple super decker power bomb superplex. Awesome. Sick. Dude, this match was fucking good. So good at this match. Like, my match of the night. And like I said, he said he had to do it.
That was probably my match of the night too.
Uh-huh. He said he had to do it, and he fucking did it. Congratulations going out to the good pastor for pulling out the dub.
CeeLo.
I've spoken to CeeLo today. We will be getting CeeLo on the show soon. He is coming. I just got to lock up a day. That's good for all of us.
He was supposed to come on this episode, actually, but we had some computer issues.
We double book too sometimes too. You know, we got Glenn Lane coming on later. We double book sometimes too. We had computer issues all weekend. We're here though, and we got the show rolling. We will persevere, my man. We will persevere.
We always will. Yeah, what a match, bro.
That match was so fire, in my opinion. After that, it got followed up by another amazing match. Here I am taking on Jason Kincaid, who I was not familiar with. And boy, let me tell you, I am a Jason Kincaid fan. I would like to see what else, where else he's going. I will, I've followed him on Facebook today. I followed all of his, his stuff so I can pay attention to him as well. Great showing by him. Great showing.
Oh, absolutely.
But, I mean, come on. It's fucking Tim, dude. Get with it. Tim is fire. Every time I see it, Tim match, it just gets better and better and better. He did one move last night where I think he called it a 919 because he reshared a post that I shared where he did like a front flip and like senton back and then bounced back and landed on his feet. Great. 450 splash, clean. I'm not sure what he's called. It was a nice little, running knee to the face, and then he picks him up like a razor's edge kind of deal, but like spins and does a backbreaker. I don't know if he has a fucking name for it, but holy hell, what a maneuver.
It's nice, dude, and it's devastating.
Jason Kincaid, though, shout out to him for the fucking killer submissions. He kept throwing him in crazy-ass submissions that I had no idea what was going on.
Never seen him. I don't even know what to call him.
Flipping his arms, like Rings of Saturn type deals. Like
that was a banger match.
Great match too. Tim was able to pull out the win, but the big story about this is after Tim pulls out this win, he grabs a microphone and starts talking smack to not just anybody. He calls out Brandon Xavier and says that he wants a match. Brandon, of course, says no. Brandon has told us before on the podcast that he is not about that life anymore. He doesn't want that man to come out anymore. He's good sitting backstage enjoying the fruits of his labor.
And he deserves it.
And then Tim crossed the line.
Boy, did he ever.
And we won't, there you can. I mean, we'll get it up. There will be clips of it. But Tim insulted Brandon, and Brandon stepped back into the ring. Still told him no, and then suspended him for breaking down barriers.
Warned him, you do not want this person. Yeah, and he said, you know what? Answer still no, and take the night off. Come breaking down barriers.
Which, is going to be a little sad for us at here at the Piledriver, because breaking down barriers is on April 29th. We have previous engagements. We will be at Stark County Fairgrounds for Neo Pro Wrestling.
For their debut show.
I'll have to get somebody. I'll have to get Maddie. We'll have to take a reporter for that show. We'll have to get Maddie to go, and we'll have to on the site reporting by Maddie Dubach.
We'll bring Maddie onto the show following.
There you go.
And break it down.
Because he said he wanted to come to the show, so that's a perfect way for him to get on the show. After this match, we had a match that Brandon dropped on our show, gave us the exclusive breaking. The Brass Knuckles title match. You had RJ Jonesy, Mr. Crummels, Chris Onyx, Louis Giovanni, El Tic Taco, and Jimmy Jammer. Six-pack challenge for the Brass Knuckles title. And so this match got a little out of hand. It was really good. It started, first off, shout out to Chris Onyx, looked like a beast.
Yeah, he did.
Mr. Crummels looked like a monster. Yeah, everybody had to take out Chris Onyx. He looked unstoppable. Mr. Crummels never has disappointed me ever since I've watched him. He's fucking amazing. El Tic Taco and Jimmy Jammer. Okay, so
Party Posse's not okay.
They didn't come out together. Tic Taco came out with Norm. And then Jimmy Jammer comes out. He was dressed as a cat. He's jumping through hoops all nimbly bimbly.
While handing out wands to the fans.
Yeah, he handed me a magic wand.
I got a magic wand.
And then Jimmy comes out and says, I was in the bathroom. I thought you guys were going to wait for me. Okay. Jimmy then gets the pin on El Tic Taco in the match to eliminate him from the match. Something's not right with the Party Posse, and they just haven't been able to connect.
No.
I don't know where the disconnect came in, but it wasn't good for them.
Party Posse's not okay. Something's going
on. RJ Jonesy ended up coming back, retaining his title after earlier in the night. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. Earlier in the night, Tariq Kalam comes out, your Infinity Champion. And the professor comes out and reveals to everybody in the world, Tyreek included, that he was the one that set up Tyreek. And then out comes this guy I've never seen before. I'm not sure on his name. He had a fucking crazy looking mask on and a garbage can full of weapons.
What was that guy from Impact?
He looked like Abyss.
Yeah, it was like a mixture of Abyss and Mankind.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
He came out with a garbage can, he had a barbed wire bat, and it was just he chased Tyreek around trying to get him with the bat. He came back out
during the six-pack challenge match. Yes, chasing Tyreek still. Ended up pouring some thumbtacks onto the arena, and as the old adage goes, if you pull it out 9 times out of 10, you're the one that's going to go through it. Tyreek gets him and knocks him out of the ring onto the thumbtacks. Meanwhile, all this is happening in the ring. Mr. Crummel goes for a super kick on RJ. RJ ducks it, hits him with I'm not sure, it's a black mass kick. I don't know what RJ calls it, but it's a black mass kick. Clean across Mr. Crummel's face, and down he goes. RJ with the pin, 1, 2, 3. It was crazy that, again, all this coming out in the match, we didn't know what the fuck was going on with Tyreek and this big giant guy. I don't know where this is going to go.
I'm sure we'll find out and never back down.
RJ Jonesy maintains his Rookie of the Year composure, gathers all together, and pulls out a win to take his title back home. I'm not even mad at the kid. He's
Me
good.
neither, man. That kick was clean. Shout out RJ Jonesy for retaining. Hell of a match, bro.
Keep putting in the work, dude. He deserved that brass knuckles title for a reason.
100%.
I mean,
I want to see
Next
that.
match. Go ahead. You want to see what?
That be defended more.
I do too. It is on Turmoil. I mean, like Brandon told us, hopefully Turmoil will be coming back soon, and we'll be getting those matches back. So that's good. This next match, this close to being my favorite. Sonny Kiss versus Sebastian LaShawn. Holy shit.
This match was everything I thought it was going to be, honestly.
Everything I wanted it to be. It was great.
Sonny brought the best out of Sebastian. Sebastian brought it, dude.
It
Shout out
was
to
great.
Sebastian LaShawn. Killed it. Sonny killed it. Sonny even showed the respect.
After the match. That was
Sebastian's
probably the best thing for me because I love that shit. I was talking about it earlier to somebody else, dude. Like, I understand wrestlers, and you know, back in my day when I was a little kid, indie wrestling really wasn't a thing like it is now. So, like, I didn't get to see the wrestlers. So, in my mind, WWE style, that was all I got. Those were those people. Those were characters, you know, and I didn't know they were characters. I thought that's how they were. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I thought that Paul Heyman, I'm not sorry, but Paul Bearer was really that creepy fucking dude. I thought that's what he looked like all the time.
Well,
So
plus that was a day and age without social media and all that stuff. So you didn't get to see it. When you see that, you thought the Undertaker was really dead. Or when Kane came out, you're like, what the hell is that?
Exactly. So to see people like to give that respect, the respect given to the younger wrestlers by somebody like Sonny Kiss, shows that they're, you know, human. They're real people. The emotion is there. It was choice.
Sebastian took Sonny to war and almost walked away with a dub, but Sonny took the win. And man, and that doesn't diminish anything Sebastian did. Sebastian killed it. So shout out to you, Sebastian. Keep putting in that work. You were killing it.
We're going to get Sebastian LaShawn on the show.
Yeah, I reached out. We're gonna have Sebastian LaShawn coming on soon too. It's gonna be we got some.
And I actually, now that I'm looking back at this card, Dean, I actually can't believe I fucking forgot about this.
What?
I forgot a major point. During Pastor, because I was so happy about the good Pastor winning the match. During the match, Cash Inc. made their presence known.
Oh, yeah.
To get Ashton back for earlier in the night. Cash, after the match, after CeeLo wins, Cash Inc. comes out and they are tearing Ashton apart. They're just beating the shit out of him. Christian Napier makes the save, comes in, helps Ashton, clears the ring. Him and Ashton look at each other, and they've had a crazy feud in Mega. So, and they look at each other, and Christian looks him dead in the face, and he's like, nobody came out for you. Nobody came out for you but me. The whole crowd, I got it all in video. The whole crowd is chanting, hug it out, hug it out, hug it out. They pull into an embrace, and fucking the crowd erupts. And then they let go, and they're like looking around. And Christian did this little walk around the ring, and me and you both looked at each other at the same time and said, oh, fuck. And he drop kicked Ashton, takes his hoodie off, and reveals himself to be the newest member of fucking Cash Inc.
Christian Napier is the newest member of Cash Inc. Is he the new leader?
What? I don't know where his role is in this company, but Ken Vaison has fucking done it again. I'm not even mad at Ken. Like, this is one of those scenarios like I had at OCW where Jake fought Tommy. I love them both. How am I supposed to be mad at Ken when I love Ken for being mean to Ashton, but I fucking love Ashton? Like,
right. I want to get Ken on here, Christian. I want to hear more.
I need to know how this, and I even spoke to Ken afterwards, and I said, damn, that's how Cash Inc.'s doing it, huh? And you know, Ken was like, you know how I'm doing it. Okay, I'm here for it. Let's go.
So after he did that, Cash Inc. was just beating up on Ashton. PME comes out and helps Ashton. So I'm wondering if this is setting up something for breaking down barriers.
Where we get a 6-man dance?
Ashton and PME versus
a six-man tag.
Man.
Dude. So I can't believe I forgot about that. Probably another one of the, like I said, favorite match of the night, followed by biggest moment of the night, in my opinion.
We both looked at each other like, what?
Yep. I could not believe that happened. I did not in a million years see that coming. So great job on the swerve by everybody and Christian, because Christian legit had me believe that him and Ashton was about to whoop ass against Cashing. Like, man, what a fucking swerve. He's good, dude, but he's slowly to the top of my list. Like, Christian Napier's a fucking monster.
Hey, he went and studied at the Nightmare Factory. Boys don't
Oh,
stop.
yeah. He wants to do it.
Runs in the blood.
So after Sonny Kiss and Sebastian LeShawn put on a clinic, great match, respectful all the way around. We had the mega champion Bryson Teller go against Tyson Maddox.
Tyson can go.
Tyson was great. Normally, when somebody comes in, obviously, Tyson's not the face role here. He's in the heel role or the, middle neutral role. He wasn't coming in as a crowd favorite like Bryson does, who's in, from Elyria, Ohio, hometown. Bryson had his fan section over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tyson's not getting that. But for him to come out, he came up to us, he bumped fists with us, and he, talked for us a little bit. He was shaking his pelvis. He was Val Venus and the ladies over there. Like, he was great.
The man wrestled with a grill.
Oh, yeah. He had a killer-ass gold grill on, just chock full of diamonds. Like, he put on a great showing. Phenomenal. I thought he was close.
He was in control majority of the match. I'm going to be honest, and like I'm not downing
Bryson lit that fire.
Tyson was whooping his ass for a little bit.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But our boy Tyson pulled it out.
Or Bryson pulled it out.
Bryson pulled it out and got and retained, man.
It was
Bryson's
good. Like I said,
good. And he's so over right now with the Mega Championship, Mega Mafia.
I agree. Like I said, he's got his own fan section. They were all about it. They all had Bryson Teller shirts on. They were there basically to see Bryson. Good. Perfect. Because he's worth it. Every penny.
Every penny.
After the match, I mean, like I said, great job by Brandon Xavier. After everything he had to go through to pull this shit off, he fucking pulled it off to a T. The fucking Easter Bunny was there handing out
candy. We didn't even get a picture of the Easter Bunny. What are we doing?
We're fucking slacking, dude. Yeah, the Easter Bunny was there. There was Girl Scout cookies. The pizza was good. Great. They did a raffle. They always do a raffle. Brandon told us about it. He had a raffle and he had all these freaking toys. He had all kinds of elite figures and a steel cage ring and all kinds of cool stuff he had found.
Shout out to the older gentleman that won those.
Some older gentleman won in the background. And what did he do? He turned around and handed this whole stack of giant toys to some kids in the front row. Kudos to that guy. Made them kids nice.
Take care of the kids, man.
Like, it was great.
It's the little things.
So shout out to Brandon Xavier.
Shout out to the whole Mega. Everyone involved
shout
in that
out
show.
To everybody at AIW. Shout out to everybody at OCW. Shout out to everybody at Circle 6. Thank you for giving us at the Piledriver Podcast an amazing month of March.
Couldn't ask for a better. All right, so with those being done, how many pile drivers you giving each show?
Okay. AIW, 4 pile drivers.
4 pile drivers? That's where I'm at.
Only not because of AIW showing. I was more down on the seating. I wasn't prepared to stand the whole show, so I wasn't prepared in shoes. So next time I know that I'm gonna have to stand, so I got to wear my more comfy shoes. Cool, no big deal. You know what I'm saying? But like,
I was gonna go
wrestling,
4.5.
I was gonna say 4. I'll go 4.3. Okay. 4.3 pile drivers for AIW. Mega, there was fucking Girl Scout cookies, so you get points for that. Obviously, Mega gives me a 4.5 pile drivers for Mega.
Yeah, I'm about the same with both of them. I'm gonna go 4 or 5 for both.
It was good. It was real good. There was no, like I said, no slouch on the wrestling on either choice. It all comes down to personal preference that I got to sit down at one and didn't get to sit down at the other.
All 4 promotions
great fucking shows. Every show I went to this month was amazing. Overall for the month, 4.7 pile. 4.7 pile drivers.
I'm giving 5.
Perfect. A
Overall, for
perfect
the whole
five?
month. Perfect 5, man. I had a blast.
I definitely had a blast.
And we got to meet X-Pac.
And we got to meet X-Pac. So what we're going to talk about now, we're going to take, because obviously we do a lot of indie wrestling, but we can't slouch on the fact that upcoming this Saturday is fucking WrestleMania, baby. We got some big matches. I'm going to read off the card a little bit. We'll talk if you want to talk. But I do want to know, I have one question for you because I already have my answer on what you think match of the whole card is going to be. Both nights. So night one, we're going to have a United States Championship match. John Cena versus Austin Theory.
This card is stacked.
Dominic versus Rey Mysterio in what was a great build-up on SmackDown, by the way, where he was talking shit to his mom. That was fucking great.
Yeah.
You got a women's showcase tag team match. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Shotzi and Natty.
Did you see their logo?
Who, Ronda or Shotzi and Natty?
Yeah.
No.
It's the heart. It's like the Hitman heart. It's the heart background with the ballsy badass skull with the helmet. It looks sweet. It looks sweet.
In pink and black?
Yeah, it's got the pink heart and then the black and green logo with the skull. Looks
better.
Awesome. Looks awesome.
Well, they got Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus a team to be determined. So I don't know who this is going to be. I don't even really have any clues as to who this could be. Maybe they bring somebody back,
NXT?
like an older, or an NXT team. Exactly. We also have the SmackDown Women's Championship, which will be main eventing the match. So, that's the main event. Sorry. Before that, in what can be just as easy, the co-main event, you got a Hell in a Cell match. Edge versus Finn Balor, and Edge has told Finn to bring the fucking demon.
I'm curious how Judgment Day Demon's going to look.
I want purple and black Judgment Day Demon.
It's gotta be.
My God.
It's got to be.
It will be.
But I want to know what Edge is going to look like. Is he coming out as the Brood? What is he doing?
So now, look, let me tell you, because I did read something today that Gangrel has been flown into Los Angeles for potentially a spot for Edge's entrance. So I'm going to assume he's going to come with the Brood. And I also said that with a potential spot against Damian Priest. So I can assume that Damian Priest is going to come out and Gangrel's going to spit blood in his face. You know what I'm saying? Like, so hopefully we get some Brood. That would be awesome. And then the main event for night one.
Gangrel was cool too. We met him.
Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley.
You know what? I think this is going to be a really good match, and it could potentially be match of the night because it's main eventing well. But it disappoints me that there's been zero build to this fucking match. No storyline leading up to it. It's basically she won the Royal Rumble and just basically, yep, choosing you, and that was it.
Oh, I take it back. That is not the main event. Sorry, I forgot. No, the main event on Saturday night will be Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Usos for the tag team titles. Now, this match, obviously, the whole world wants Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to win. I read something today, Dean. What would you think about this if this happened? What if this is a work? What if Sami Zayn has worked Kevin Owens and like kind of how Chris Jericho did? What if he like sides with the bloodline and was like, this was all set up?
I hope not.
That would be fucking nuts.
I also seen some stuff that like Roman could retain, and then once the music hits, The Rock hits. I'm like,
yep.
Which would be cool. But at the same time, like, I want somebody to drop a damn title.
I agree. And I'm not for Cody taking it, but we'll see how it goes.
I am.
All right.
Put the tag titles on KO and Sammy and give Cody a title, and let's just go up on our day.
Night 2, you got, in my opinion, this is going to be a stellar match. I'm stoked to see these ladies return to the ring. You got Damage Control. Bayley, Dakota, Io Sky versus Lita, Becky Lynch, and Trish Stratus, bro.
Yeah.
Beyond words. Like, I don't even know what to say because, Lita looks amazing in shape. Trish is a bodybuilder, so she's in amazing shape.
They both look.
I want to see a Stratusfaction.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. That's going to be great. You got Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
How many
This
how
is a
many
match
suplexes does Brock put on Omos?
at least 5.
You going over 5 or under 5?
Oh, you want to go over under? I'll go over actually. I'll take the over. I'll take the over on 5.
Okay. I'll go under.
All right, I'm going to skip this match. Well, I won't even skip it. This match right here is what I think match of the weekend. And you're going to be like, what? But you already know why. Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul. It's going to go hard.
Oh, you know.
Logan Paul is fucking good. You don't want to admit it, but he's good. Like, people don't want to admit it. He's a good wrestler. It's going to go hard.
Why do I have a feeling Jake's going to get involved?
Something's going to happen, but I can see big spots from him and Rollins because Rollins can high fly. Rollins can jump off things. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Rollins also has the mind games and can stomp this man's teeth into the ground, which is ultimately what I think is going to happen.
What would you do?
But if anybody can put over Logan Paul, again, and I've said this multiple times about him, he's my favorite wrestler in WWE. If anybody can put somebody over and take a loss and still it won't hurt their credibility at all, it's Seth fucking Rollins.
Yeah.
Seth can lose 1,000,000 matches in a row and he's still going to be fucking Seth freaking Rollins because he's good.
Watch Logan come out as Shield. Just
like through the crowd. I can see it. You got the men's tag team showcases taking place on Sunday night. Ricochet and Braun Strowman as a tag team versus the Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. That's a lot of big meaty men slapping meats.
Yes, sir.
I don't understand the profit or what is about the tag team showcase. Do you get a tag team title? I don't remember hearing anything about that.
Who knows?
Just like
WWE's tag team division is a fucking joke.
It's trash.
Look, they brought back Anderson and Gallows. They're not bums. Why are they in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale? You really can't find anything to do with them.
Well, that's like Bobby Lashley.
Like, come on, bro.
Bobby Lashley went from having a great, WrestleMania looking with Bray Wyatt to now he's in the showcase and Bray Wyatt's nowhere to be found again. Match number 5, you got a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship, and this match is going to go fucking hard too. Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Gunther. This match, 5 stars. Easily. Match number 6 on night 2, the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair defending her title against Asuka. And we've seen a different Asuka lately. We've seen Kana. It has not been Asuka. It is, they can't call her that, but we know.
Yeah.
And then, as we all know, the main event of night 2 has not been in question since he won the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes versus the head of the table, Roman Reigns.
It's shaping to be a memorable WrestleMania.
It's gonna be a good one. I'm pretty sure
there's gonna be some surprises.
From what I've read, this is Vince is not in charge. It's true. This is Triple H WrestleMania. I get it, but look at the card. The only thing that seems Vince-esque is these tag team showcases matches. You know what I'm saying? So that's, in my opinion, that's more Triple H trying to get, again, showcase. Maybe it's,
I feel like we've been watching it long enough. Once we start watching this shit, we can point out.
I know.
That's a Vince thing.
I know.
We'll see. Whatever.
We'll see. And, Vince. I mean, obviously, we're split here on the main event. You want Cody to take a title from Roman. I hope Roman retains because everybody wants Cody to fucking win. I think it'll only give Roman that much more heat. It'll only advance the character that much further, especially because if Usos lose on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Especially if Usos lose on Saturday night, because that will set it up, like you said, perfectly for The Rock on Sunday, because he can set up and be like, you guys lost your fucking titles. I didn't lose mine. I'm the head of the table. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Boom. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That'd be dope.
I could see it. And then but I did read Roman was going to take some time off, or has requested to take some time off,
which he deserves.
But then again, I've read that they want him to hit that 1,000-day mark.
Then you drop your fucking titles.
Exactly. But then I've read they want him to take that 1,000-day. They want him to hit that 1,000-day mark or whatever it is, that big milestone. Which is, I would like that.
He better not go on a fucking break with
the titles. I agree.
Bullshit. That's bullshit. If I was Network, USA, or Fox, I'm bitching.
This is where you have, in my opinion, if you want to have him win, you can have him win, and then take his vacation, cut a promo like, I've beaten everybody. You guys don't have anybody else that can beat me. I'm going to just vacate this. I'm going to take a vacation. I'll come back and get it when I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And then you have a fucking battle royal tournament, King of the Ring, whatever, to crown a new champion. Let Cody win that. I'm not against Cody winning the belt because I think Cody's going to bring back the Winged Eagle. But I'm a Roman fan, dude. I don't want to see. I like the 1,000 days. I want it to happen for him. That's a big accolade. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the Bloodline's been the best thing in wrestling for at least a year.
Yeah. Well, we shall see
in
come this
WWE,
weekend.
in WWE, not wrestling altogether, but in WWE.
But since WrestleMania is looking up to be great, but since we've kind of shifted gears and we've been covering a lot of independent, do not forget to follow all of the amazing promotions that are having shit go down in that area WrestleMania weekend. You got Circle 6 throwing down some great shows. You got GCW, you got tons of them. Look them up. They're all over Twitter. You'll get the whole lineup. There's a lot of stuff going down WrestleMania weekend in that area. Do not sleep on any of those shows as well. Show them some love and support. So,
next week, if anything, we're going to try to work out a live show where we will be going live on our Facebook and our Twitter and any other social medias that we have with the boys from the Double Play CLE. We got to set it up. We're going to have a big WrestleMania show, little pre-show. We're all going to try to get together. Again, I can't say it's going to happen, but we're going to do our best to make it fucking happen.
Yeah, we'll see. For sure. That'd be sweet. Go follow the boys at Double Play CLE. Their debut show just recently dropped. Stay tuned with that. The big things coming up. We're gonna have to get the boys on here. You know one of them, our boy Yo Paulie. Follow the rest of the Believe in Media crew. Brown and Orange Weekly, Guardians of the CLE, All Things Cavaliers is getting rebooted. Got some brand new hosts just recently announced. Go to Believe in Media on Twitter. Check out the new hosts. Give them a follow. Got some things brewing up, man. Believe in Media is killing it. Shout out to them. Now, we want to thank you guys for being here. We're about to bring in Glenn Lane, talk a little OCW, hype up, never back down, and maybe what's
April
plans
8th
for tradition. We're going to get him on here, but before we do that, we want to say our goodbyes because we're just going to end things off with Glenn. We thank you guys. Go follow us. We just recently created a Facebook page. Go.
That's right.
Us. Build
Piledriver Pod, Facebook.com.
Follow us on Twitter. We're almost at 1,000 followers. Get us there, man. We're almost on all the socials. We appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed this interview with Glenn Lane because I know we're going to. We are Glenn Lane guys.
I'm a Glenn Lane guy.
I'm a Glenn Lane guy too. We're gonna have to get some t-shirts. We're gonna have to ask him about it. So with that being said, we're about to hit this interview. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace. What is going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of the Piledriver. We have a special guest with us today, OCW General Manager Glenn Lane. Man, thank you for coming on. It is an honor. We've been wanting to have you on here for a while. We got some things we want to talk to you about leading up to Never Back Down and stuff that went down at Final Cut. It ended crazy. First and foremost, how are you doing?
I'm a little sore. Shoulder's still a little messed up. My neck's still a little stiff.
Things got out of hand there at the end.
Pretty quick, right?
out of
Dude,
nowhere.
as the cameraman, it was rough. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I saw Tommy and Matt, and it was whole scenario went ape shit real quick.
Yeah, it went south pretty fast. I was actually up because people had started leaving the show already.
Yeah.
So I was just greeting people out the door, tell them to have a good night, and somebody yelled and said that the Brute and Taylor were in the audience. And I'm like, doing what? And I just happened to look over, and it was just they were just going at it. And then I saw Papa Smurf get thrown into all the chairs, and
that happened right in front of me.
Actually, I talked to him earlier. He's in some pretty bad shape right now too. He's a little sore. He was busted up pretty good. Porter O'Shea's doing better. He's doing okay. Actually, one of our security guards, he took a lot of the force of me, and I'm not a small guy. He took a lot of force of me.
I saw that he got pushed right into him.
Yeah. So I checked on him, and he said he's doing okay. Like I said, shoulder's a little messed up still. It was a pretty hard fall when two guys like that are pushing you at the same time. I think there's a picture out there where you can see my feet are completely almost over my head.
Like you're airborne. Yeah.
So ultimately, I made the decision after the show to suspend both of them for the next upcoming show.
Yeah, we watched the interview with Yo Pauly right after. If you guys go back on your guys' Twitter at OCW Online, go check that out. Yeah, you laid down the law. You said they're going to be suspended for Never Back Down.
Yeah,
which I think is the right move. That sets up a battle at Tradition.
I can't fucking wait, baby. Tradition is going to be hyped this year.
Yeah, it's going to be. We're packing in quicker than usual. So yeah, I mean, right off the bat, you're seeing the main event, right? I mean, you already know what the main event is.
It's gonna be a hell of a main event. So we got a few new matches that you guys have already announced for Never Back Down. You got DD Trash defending their tag team titles against Warhorse.
Yes. Yeah, Warhorse. You know what a match it was against the winners and our OCW tag team champions, DD Trash, and I thought it ended well. It was fair, right down the middle, and then the Entourage and Warhorse come flying in, doing their deeds, and DD Trash was immediate to say, hey, they're next on our list. Let's go. So
there we go. I mean, it's a little worrisome, I guess you could say, would be a good word to use. Because from what I've been told and what I've read, Yo Pauly obviously knows most of OCW history at this point. This is the very first time at Never Back Down that every single member of the Entourage will be in the building. Jock Sampson, Brandon Fields, Warhorse.
It'll be the first time that they've all been together this year.
Oh, okay. Yo Pauly had me believing it was the first time ever. Like at one, they were always missing like at least one. Like always, if Kelly wasn't there, Fields wasn't there, and something like that. Pauly had me thinking it was the very first time.
If you look at it that way, since Warhorse has joined the Entourage, yes, this would be the first time.
Okay,
yeah, you're correct.
That they're coming. Okay.
With Warhorse joining the crew, so yeah, they will be at max capacity. So it Never Back Down on April 18th. The Entourage is there.
It's April 8th. April 8th.
April 8th.
Yeah,
I tweeted out that
18th.
What do you got going on the 18th? Something important too that day, I bet.
I tweeted out when you guys announced that you never know what can happen when the Entourage is in the building. So, and I've seen that Jock Sampson's been pretty adamant about an OCW heavyweight title shot.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Me personally, I don't know what he's deserved to even deserve that.
What has Jock Sampson done, General Manager Glenn Lane, to deserve a title shot?
The greatest of all time.
He went up against he wrestled the Honky Tonk Man.
Yes, he did.
So that grants him a shot against the Guiding Light. Come on. In my opinion, he's got to prove something.
Well, to be honest with you guys, I've had my fair share, and you guys know that with the Entourage.
Yes, they've been a thorn.
I think I think I've moved on. I think we're good. Nick Honest gave me the credit when credit's due at that point. At Beach Bash, we kind of settled our score. So professionally, to tell you, Doc Sampson has done a lot in this business, and
I'm not disputing his claims in the business, but
no, he's
I've
done
been
a
with
lot in
OCW for
OCW.
a couple. I've been with OCW for a couple years now, and in my opinion, he hasn't done enough to warrant himself a heavyweight title shot.
Yeah,
Maybe a
but you never
heritage
know.
title. Maybe a heritage title shot.
That can always be a match away.
That's true.
That is the crazy thing about OCW. You might catch my eye on one match, and I'm like, you know what? Let's give it a shot.
But I mean, we do have something coming up, and obviously it's coming up to tradition. At Never Back Down, you have a qualifying match for the Brass Ring Gauntlet, which, as we all know, Brass Ring Gauntlet, very similar to Money in the Bank. You use it as a cash-in anytime for a title shot of your choosing.
Yep, and it's been used a few times.
Yeah,
It has. I've been in attendance for a couple. I mean, so who else do you got in mind for? I mean, you don't have to give us any matches or anything like that, but who else, do you got in mind that deserves a brass ring shot? Because I got a couple.
Well, there's many of them, right? I mean, it's all going to be qualifying matches at this point.
Okay.
So, the Jake Ely and Superstar Robbie Starr, they're going to be the first match. We got some young superstars that we're probably going to put in some qualifying matches.
I was going to say, I'm hoping to see some Bryant Huff. I'm hoping to see some Jake Rose was good.
Yeah, these are all young guys that are they're breaking into the business, and they're really showing their worth at this point, right?
oh, absolutely. Brian Huff and Jacob Rose have been.
I was just
phenomenal.
about to
They've
say,
been
dude,
so impressive.
Yes.
One of the things I've talked
talented.
about.
Yes, absolutely.
One of the things I've talked about is like being the cameraman, obviously for OCW. I find myself caught up in certain matches, and Bryant Huff is definitely one of them ones where I'm like, holy shit, dude, like this guy's good. And he's really, really good.
He is. He's actually really, really good. And he took Derek, our heritage champion at the last show. He took him to the limits.
He really did.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
we speak very highly of Derek Dillinger here on the Piledriver Podcast. I will call myself a Derek Dillinger mark. I love all of his work. He's fucking great. And Brian Huff pushed him to the fucking max, dude. It was phenomenal.
I wouldn't call you a mark for being a fan of a guy, right? I mean,
okay, well,
I feel like that term mark is tossed around loosely these days.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely a super big fan of Derek Dillinger.
That term is very, very loosely. I read something one time. I think it might have been Chris Jericho, maybe. And he said a mark, the expression mark is one of the most overused, pathetic things to say about a fan. Because without a fan, there's no wrestling.
Yeah,
exactly.
So to call a mark a fan is one of the most degrading things you could do to a fan.
Yeah.
And it made sense because at the end of the day, independent wrestling, AEW, WWE, TNA, New Japan, they're not marks. They're just fans. It's the same as a sports fan, right? It's the same as a Browns fan, a Steelers fan, a Cavs fan, any kind of fan like that. It's if you're not hyped about it, then it's not worth it, right? I mean, they're not going to there's not asses in the seats. Because
you're right.
To use the expression mark, I try not to like ever use that or say that. They're fans. They're ultimately fans, and I don't care if they're OCW fans or if they're another fan of another independent wrestling organization in Ohio. Because at the end of the day, independent wrestling in Ohio is got to all work together, and we're all trying to do shows not on the same night so that we can have that fan interaction that goes all around us, and it seems like it's starting to work, and that's the scary part, because you could have wrestling every weekend
Yeah.
for here on out the rest of the year.
Yeah. We've been saying that for the past few weeks. Northeast
March
Ohio
has been stacked for us. March was stacked for us, Glenn. We had Circle 6, then we had OCW, then this week we had AIW on Friday, and we went to Mega last night. We've had
there was a couple
week,
other shows that went
weekend.
over the past few days as well, but we've been saying that Ohio independent wrestling is severely underrated, and we truly feel that we offer some of the best wrestling in the country as far as on an independent side. The talent out in this area is amazing.
Yeah, I definitely think we're second to none to PA.
Yeah, 100%.
PA has a lot of good circuits going on out there right now, but you don't hear much going west. You know what I mean? Like, the farther west you go, it kind of fades out. But if you really look back at wrestling in a whole, this territory, even back in the 70s and 80s, is where it was at. All the way down.
Ohio Valley's been, a big name in the wrestling for a long, long time.
Sure.
And when we first started doing Piledriver, we've been going for a year now. When we first started doing it, we were mainly kind of focused on mainstream, WWE. And we still talk about that. Me and Dean will definitely talk about WrestleMania coming up, and it's all big deal
for WrestleMania.
But once we started focusing more on the indies, it's become more like, in my opinion, at least, I can't speak for Dean, I've kind of fell back in love with it a little more, because it's there. It's more intimate. It's wrestlers that are putting in the hard work. It's a great thing. Independent wrestling's. There
was somebody, I don't know who it was, the other day, had posted something on Facebook, and it was a nice paragraph, and it was about independent wrestling. And it was what people don't realize: these independent wrestlers get paid, or what they do, or how they do it. Some of them work for a beer and a hot dog.
We talk about that on the way to the show, as I said, because I try to buy t-shirts from everybody. I have a t-shirt from almost everybody at OCW that has a shirt available, because I don't know how much they're getting paid, but I know that my $25 for that t-shirt might help his gas tank get home.
Yep. Because sometimes that's all they work for. They don't even, it's not even enough money to make it, to get a gallon, to get the gas to come back and forth.
Right.
Exactly.
But you know what? They do it because there's passion. They love it. And I've never met a better group of people. I played sports my whole life. I was very athletic. I played baseball, football, and was part of some great teams. But it doesn't equal the brotherhood that wrestling does.
I will totally give you that. I'm with it. Again, same vein, played football, all that stuff in high school. And even though we're not in the same vein, general manager, you're back in the locker room with the guys, we're part of the sound team, for you guys. So we're there early. We get you guys. We talk to you guys. We've been welcomed in like family. The Believe Land media has been just loved. We walked in the first day, I grabbed the camera, and you were like, "Here you go, bud. Let me show you how to do this." And we've been friends ever since. It's just the brotherhood is there, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's the best part about this business is you don't make friends for life, you make family for life.
Yeah.
The utmost respect I have for these guys, and 25 years ago I was in this business, and it wasn't like that. It was a cutthroat business.
Oh yeah.
To see it revolve into what it is now, and I talked to other promoters and owners as well, and it's all become just like this bond. I guess during COVID was really like a aha moment for me, because other owners and promoters, we really talked, and we were actually, OCW was one of the first ones to be able to come back with a show. And I'm not kidding you when I say I was on the phone with the health department every day, multiple times a day. What do I got to do? How do I do this? How do I do that? What do I got to do to get this done? What do I do to get this done? And
at that time, regulations were just changing daily.
Daily. Like at one point, I think at one point I got the the All Go probably a little after a year into COVID. I got an All Go, and I think we released that we were going to do tradition. And 2 weeks before the show, they shut it all back down. So we didn't do any pre-sale tickets, thank God for that. But it was like, man, I was so close, and it would have really been cool. And then for the fans to show up when we had our first show back, our tradition was our first show back. For the fans to wait 2 years for that, and they came back like it never went away. So that tells us we're doing something right. And, we do. I try to interact with every fan I can, every show. I like throwing the little kids up there so they can get pictures in the ring. A lot of people's been noticing that.
I've seen you do that a couple times. I've seen you throw some kids up on the apron, dad's taking pictures and stuff. It's cool stuff, man.
I just made their night. You know what I mean? Like, they may never be able to do that again. You know, you're not going to do that at a WWE show. You're not going to do that at.
Well, it's the same like Ryan Michaels. Every Ryan Michaels match, he walks out and he gives his glasses, right? And again, as the cameraman, it's something I get to be right there to see. And every time the kid's face, oh shit, I just got glasses from this poor wrestler.
Yeah.
Like they're like, holy hell. And again, like you said, just made that kid's night.
That's a memory, like a core memory just installed in that kid's head. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it'll never leave. It'll never leave. And I'll remember, like, so when I first came back, I want to say I was maybe 3 months in at OCW. We started doing the meet and greets. It was one of my things that I really enjoyed doing, was getting the meet and greets at a local pub or a bar or a restaurant. And we had this grandmother, her sister, and the 2 grandsons were with them at this bar we were at. And they were like, we watch wrestling every once in a while. We've never been to one, blah, 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 blah. And I told them, I said, well, if you guys buy tickets and you come to the show, and at the end of the show you don't like it, come find me and I will pay you back. And they came to the next show, and I honestly can't remember because it's been a long time. After the show, I found them. And I went up and asked them, I'm like, hey, how'd you guys? And they were like, can we get tickets to the next show? This was awesome. And I didn't even realize it, but one of the grandkids was actually one of the ones that I put up on the ring to let them get a picture of. And
nice. Like, you didn't do it intentionally. It just happened to be that way.
It just happened to be him. I'll just grab a kid. If they're standing towards the barricades, I'll ask them, hey, where's your mom and dad at? Do you want to get a picture on the ring? And them kids, like, they lose it. They're like, oh, are you serious? And it's like, yeah.
Because as a once little kid who loved wrestling, you only get to be by those barricades. To come over that barricade and get to be by the ring, even as again, I get to be by the ring holding the camera. Just to touch the ropes is a different feeling. Just to it's. Yeah. I'm like, okay, it's agree. Cool,
right? I mean, I know that at times we're not as family friendly as we can be, but that's the nature of the business, right? It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I try to make it to where those kids are begging their parents to bring them back. And I feel like OCW is one of the ones where we do that. We make it to where it is a family of fun.
You guys do a phenomenal job.
I appreciate that. I mean, we work hard at it. All of us. There's a group of us that, we do that. Like, right before the show starts, I'm hiding somewhere. A lot of people don't know where I hide. And I have my eyes right on the crowd. So I've already picked the kids that I've never seen there before. And at one point of the night or the other, I'll walk through the crowd, or I'll walk around the barricades, and I'll make sure to ask them if they want to come in. And sometimes they'll say no. Like, sometimes they'll just say no. They're nervous or scared. Right. But then once they see one kid do it, they're like, oh, I'm in.
It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I can do this.
He's super cool. Or a lot of them are intimidated, and they don't have
to be. Again, it's the fan thing. Like you said, they're intimidated.
Oh yeah, you see these characters that are larger than life. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, any kid would be intimidated. I was intimidated being close to wrestlers when I was a young kid as well. Like, oh my god, you guys are massive. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Oh,
give them the opportunity to
Tommy,
interact
Tommy.
with
There's
them.
no way. There's no way. You know, I remember when we first started with OCW. Lord Thomas the Brute was a more of a bad guy, heel character, and he's kind of had a nice little face turn. The crowd loves him now, but he used to yell at the fans and the peasants, and I couldn't imagine being a little kid and like seeing Tommy. He's fucking scary. You know what I'm saying? Like that would scare the shit out of me.
He's
But
got some
now,
energy that can
but
definitely.
now
I can see
now the kids flock to him, and he's bumping fists, but he's still the same Tommy.
Yeah.
It's just something has changed, and the fans love it. And
The OCW faithful love him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They showed out at Final Cut.
Oh yeah.
I hope. I want to see Never Back Down. We don't bring in some new faces. I would love to do that because people are missing out. If they haven't been to an OCW show yet, they're missing out on a lot.
Yes, they are. And this is a good show for them to. If you haven't came to see OCW yet, this would be the show to come see before Tradition. This will
it'll set you up nice.
Yeah. It'll set you up very nicely for Tradition, and Tradition's the one you definitely don't want to miss. I don't think I've ever seen a crowd so wild and crazy at Tradition at any of our shows until Tradition. Tradition, it seems like Tradition at Beach Bash, they really go at it, and then our Summerfest.
Is that Mogador. The one at Mogador? Yeah, Mogador goes hard, baby.
I missed last year's at Mogador, but I heard Mogador, like the fan section was the energy in that and the fans was wild.
Yeah, it was crazy all night. Yeah, it was crazy all night.
I love seeing that. But yeah, I can agree with you 100%. If someone's new to OCW, I feel like Never Back Down would be a great way to get a taste of it, and then they're going to want to come back, and then they're just going to get blown away by Tradition.
I'm gonna do so if you come to Never Back Down, there's gonna be a special ticket price for Tradition that you'll be able to get at Never Back Down, and that's the only place you're gonna be able to get.
Like only at Never Back Down, the special price won't be online or anything. You'll pay regular price online.
No, it'll only be at Never Back Down.
That's phenomenal.
And tickets are still available for Never Back Down. You can go over to OhioChampionshipWrestling.com/Eventbrite. Get your tickets. Front row still available. Like Dean said, you don't want to miss this show. We got lots of people scheduled to appear. Ryan Michaels is going to be in the building. Asher Knox and the Made Man, Gino DiCapo. Another match that we didn't get to talk about that I do want to talk about. Derek Dillinger at Final Cut, said if Chuck got to beat his hand-picked opponent, who happened to be Gino, he would get a match. We all assumed that was going to be a Heritage Championship match. Now Derek has a tag team match against Chuck and Natalie with a mystery opponent. Yeah. I don't even know who to believe this mystery opponent could be at this point because, again, big fans of Derek. I know all kinds of people he associates with.
So we signed the match. We signed the match on Thursday officially, and he actually signed it as his partner being a surprise.
Fantastic.
I love it.
So Derek didn't leave. He didn't even speculate to me who it could be.
It could be anybody. It's wild.
So yes, it could be anybody in the world right now.
You aren't going to find out unless you come to Never Back Down.
I'm not going to find out until
until Never Back Down.
Right. Because of the way he did the signing, and Derek Dillinger is very, very smart.
Yes, he is.
So right now, those are the only matches we got on Never Back Down. But you were speaking on Summerfest. Are we going to be at Summerfest again this year?
Yes.
Yes.
We'll have Summerfest again this year.
Awesome.
We've got 3 shows already scheduled for at Melanie Springs, Kim Tam Lake Park. So we've already got 3 there, and we're working on 2 other shows right now that will be part of our summer tour. So it's going to be pretty packed, and we're going to be pretty busy this summer. So
we can't wait. We cannot wait.
It's going to be wild from here on out. It's wild, until October when we go back indoors. It gets crazy, and you never know where we could pop up on a weekend. Last year last year we did a show that was an improv show at the lake, just out of nowhere.
Oh, that would be really cool. I'd be down for some shit like that.
Yeah. We've got some stuff going on we got some irons in the fire, you could say. So if they
all right,
if it cooks right, it'll be announced.
I'm sure it'll cook right.
If it cooks right, we'll all be eating.
This is where things start to kick off for you guys in the year. You guys have already off to a stellar start. You guys have been show after show just keeps blowing it out the water. So things about to heat up. I already know it. Never back down. It's going to be a not miss.
Yes.
So
yes, the next two shows, as an OCW fan or a wrestling fan in general, do not miss them. I'm telling you right now.
Well, unfortunately, I hate to tell you, sir, that I will be missing the next show. I will not be at Never Back Down. I have some prior engagements I have to attend to. Dean will be there to cover for us, though, along with Yo Paulie, and the rest of the team will be there. I'm the only one missing. But tradition, I wouldn't miss for the world.
Yeah, you got to cancel everything for tradition.
Oh yeah, definitely. Zoe's with me for that one. She already said so.
Oh yeah, she's not gonna miss that. That's our ring girl, by the way.
Yeah, she loves it.
For the people that don't know, our ring girl is
Zoe. I think she really likes hanging out with Pedro the most. Like, she likes talking to Pedro. Pedro
is a class act.
Yes, he
is. Agreed, 110%. We saw him at AIW on Friday.
They be bickering back and forth while they're sitting next to each other.
He messes with Zoe, and she messes right back with him. She likes sitting with Pedro.
I love it, guys.
Pedro's the man.
So, April 8th, I will see you, Dean.
Yes, you will.
And I'll think about you, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
And
that's all I ask.
If you haven't got your tickets yet, get them. Don't miss it. And you never know who I may have show up.
You never know.
You never know.
Never know.
There's
okay, like you said, April 8th, Chaparrals, Akron, Ohio, 2418 South Arlington Road. Make sure you get over to Ohio Championship Wrestling /Eventbrite. Get them tickets. Fill this building up. Let's go.
And if you haven't already, followed you guys on the social media for any match updates, announcements, anything going forward. We're going to be retweeting everything you guys send out. So you already know we're on.
There will be a big announcement next week. So people might want to get their tickets.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. All right, boss. Well, thank you so much for jumping in and joining us. I definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
We've wanted you come on for a while, and I do want to ask you something while we got you on recording here. Do you have any problem with Dean and I getting "I'm a Glenn Lane guy" shirts?
No,
I'm the Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah, like I'm a Paul Heyman guy, but I'm a Glenn Lane guy.
Okay. I already got the logo made out and everything.
Just checking. I had,
you guys might be able to sell some merch on that. I'm just saying. I hear a lot of Glenn Lane chants lately, and it's definitely it's getting hot. I don't know what's
OCW faithful love you, man.
They do, and I appreciate. I love them all back the same.
I love them
every
too.
show. I put my heart and soul into that show for them. So
it shows.
I definitely feel the appreciation. So, but yeah, you guys are all good. Go for it, man.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right, man.
All right,
guys
boss.
have a good night. Have a good week, and we'll see you guys April 8th.
All right. Thanks, boss.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.